For years now, the mainstream gaming industry has been crossing over into the mobile gaming industry, albeit that through a mobile port of a classic game, or a spin-off of a beloved franchise. Today we're going to be looking at some of those spin-offs. They could be good, they could be bad, some of them are just going to be downright weird. There's franchises here from Pikmin, Forza, Kingdom Hearts, Skate, Pokemon, there's so many, and we're going to look at just a few of them today while we scratch the surface. Now, before we continue, if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel and tap the bell for notifications of any future uploads. Let's begin! Okay, so first up we have Pokemon Duel. Now, when it comes to Pokemon on mobile, there's quite a few choices. There's the obvious choice of Pokemon Go. There's a few more niche ones like Magikarp, Jump. And then there's the games that are almost like not quite games and more tools like Pokemon Smile and Pokemon Sleep. But the one I think that's most forgotten about is Pokemon Duel. This was a free-to-play digital board game, developed by Heroes and released on Android and iOS in Japan in April 2016 and the rest of the world in January 2017. This was based on the Pokemon trading figure game, which is a long since discontinued line of collectible toys that you could also play the board game on screen with. The main objective is to get your figures to the goal on the opponent's side and the opponents to get their figures into your goal, and you have to try and stop them and they have to try and stop you. The figures can battle, in inverted commas, and that's basically the game. The game featured a single player campaign as well as online multiplayer, and as this was a free-to-play game, it did follow the free-to-play mobile model of purchasable in-game currency, and the figures were attained in a gacha-like manner, so like loot boxes or booster packs. Sadly, I never actually got to try this game because I never had a phone good enough to run it back when it came out, and then by the time I did and remembered it existed, it had shut down in 2019. Now, there's a few likely reasons for this game shutting down. In the Netherlands, in January 2019, the game had to shut down because of a ban on loot boxes in video games, and then in July the same year, the rest of the world, the game was also announced to be discontinued, which then shut down on Halloween 2019. Now, again, this will be down to the loot boxes and also probably just from poor sales and dwindling figures of people actually playing, because the game had been out for a couple of years at this point and it didn't really seem like much content was added over the time. It is a shame because I would like to have tried this game, but yet again it's just another Pokemon or Nintendo game lost to time. Reviews wise, this game just did okay. It's got a 63 out of 100 on Metacritic, and every other review firm seems to roughly agree with that as well. 3.5 out of 5, 68% on Games Master, 6 out of 10 on Nintendo Life, so on and so forth. Middle grounds reviews for a game that I think is quite fondly remembered. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so next up we have Skate It, which is a spin-off of the franchise Skate. Now, this was released originally for Nintendo DS and Wii, although these were obviously two different versions that took advantage of the system's different things, like the DS version touchscreen and the Wii's motion controls and Wii balance board. However, this was also ported to iOS a little bit later on, so you could play this on iPhone and iPad as of May 10th, 2010. So initially, Skate It was released in 2008 and is set between the first Skate and the second Skate. It's set in San Vanellope, the same fictional city as the first game, and this time round there's been several earthquakes which have caused widespread damage and a mass evacuation, meaning you can skate alone and undisturbed. It seems this has since been removed from the Apple Store as well, so unfortunately you can't download this one anymore, although you can just buy the DS version or the Wii version. The iOS version was just a direct port of the DS, so again it just used touchscreen controls. Now, before doing research for this video, I had no idea that Skate It was ported onto iOS in the first place. I was aware of the DS and Wii versions, but I had no idea it was on mobile as well, which is just really cool. I'm a massive fan of the Skate franchise, so it's cool to see that it's branched out to different platforms. Reviews wise, it did alright, 67 out of 100 on Metacritic for the iOS version, with the DS version scoring 72 and the Wii version scoring 70. Unfortunately, due to the time it was released and how it's no longer really around, there isn't much footage available of Skate It on iOS, so I'm very sorry for the poor quality of footage that you're seeing currently. So next up we're looking at Crazy Taxi. But not the Crazy Taxi you think. whilst the actual Crazy Taxi has been ported to mobile, today we're looking at this. This is called Crazy Taxi Gazillionaire, which was later named Crazy Taxi Tycoon. Someone at Sega thought that taking this high-octane, fast-speed taxi game and turning it into an idle clicker tycoon was the best possible direction for the franchise. The game launched in June 2017 for both Android and iOS, and to be fair, it lasted just under 3 years and the servers were shut down and the game was removed in May 2020. You play as the manager who owns the taxi rank that Axel and other characters from Crazy Taxi work for. You have to make as much money as possible to upgrade your drivers and cabs, and you can unlock new parts of the city where you can make even more money. All you really do is just tap a few things and get more cash, and then the game just kind of plays itself. It really isn't anything exciting, and it's a bit weird that Sega just slaps the IP on this really kind of like mid-tier tycoon game, if you could even call it that. If you want Crazy Taxi on mobile, just play the actual port of the game on mobile, because I'm sure it's infinitely more fun than this. And they're working on that new Crazy Taxi now, which is due out in the next unspecified amount of time, so we got that to look forward to now at least. The developer of this game also developed another Sega mobile game called Sega Heroes, and the reason for both of these games getting delisting was actually because Sega and Demiurge parted ways. Demiurge was bought out, so there we go. There isn't much in the way of reviews for this game. In fact, it's hard to really find much to say about this game at all, but as you can see, it's not very good. It's just a clicker game. It's not exciting whatsoever. Anyway, moving on. Now, Forza is a franchise that I have loved for years. I have played pretty much every motorsport on every horizon, and although the newest motorsport was a bit of a fumble in the franchise, their mobile attempts have been much, much bigger fumbles. Forza Street was just shit, to put it frankly, but their newest attempt, although I'm pretty sure is just another game with the Forza logo slapped on, is, I would argue, even worse. It's pathetic. This is Forza Customs. Now, what it looks to be is a car customization game, but what it actually is a fucking match puzzle game.
No. Wait.
Who looked at this racing franchise and thought the best direction they could take it in was to turn it into Candy Crush? What? What? This game released late last year and has recently had an update just a few days ago. It's somehow had over 1 million downloads on Google Play, but looking at the reviews, it's currently sat at 4.4 stars out of 5. God knows how, because all the top reviews are all like 2 or 1 star, so I guess there's just a bunch of bots? I'm not sure. One of the top reviews is actually complaining about how like empty this game is and how numb it is on the brain. And the developer actually responded, Hutch Games, Forza Customs combines the best of the Forza series with a match 3 component for more automotive fun. What? Takes the best of the Forza series, the best of it is the racing, and they've taken out the racing and made it into a puzzle game. This just shouldn't have been made in the first place. Simple as. Anyway, this is one of the few games on this list that you can actually download now and check out for yourself if you so desire. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can if you want to. Anyway, moving on. Another franchise that I absolutely adore is the Pikmin series. I've played every mainline game over the years and pay quite close attention to what Nintendo decides to do with this franchise. Now, when I saw the headline that Pikmin was coming to mobile, my initial thoughts were maybe they're going to recreate or try and capture the essence of the Hey Pikmin game for 3DS, that kind of 2D platformer vibe. But instead, when I clicked on the article, discovered it was being developed by Niantic, the company who were responsible for bringing us Pokemon Go. And the end result of this is Pikmin Bloom, an augmented reality game that rewards players for going outside. Just like Pokemon Go. This game is a tad more wholesome than Pokemon Go. It's all about spreading flowers across the world and planting everywhere, spreading your seed, but maybe not worded like that. As you walk around, your Pikmin can find items, which is fruit, costumes. They grow flowers when you feed them nectar, which gives you more flower petals, and then you can plant even more. Local landmarks, which are like the Pokestops on Pokemon Go, are represented by big flowers, where you can collect nectar, or as mushrooms, which can be destroyed by Pikmin as like a battle kind of thing, like a raid event. And just like Pokemon Go, you can take real photographs with the Pikmin. It's kind of cool. Doesn't look amazing, but it's still cool. Now, I did download this the day this game came out, and honestly, it was okay. It didn't hold my attention for very long. I must have played maybe from the start of November when it came out, probably until about Christmas time at the latest. The game launched across the world between the 26th of October and the 2nd of November, and this was in 2021. Reviews-wise, Metacritic has it at 65 out of 100. Nintendo Life gave it 8 out of 10. A lot of people do enjoy this game. As I said, it is quite wholesome, but I just don't think there's all that much there. It's a cool idea, but I don't think it has the same potential that Pokemon Go did. Although, as this is developed by Niantic, I'm sure they'll find some way to fuck it up. But we'll see. For our final franchise turned into mobile game, we are looking at Kingdom Hearts. Now, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link is a game that we all know about and is on the way, hopefully at some point soon. But we're looking today at Kingdom Hearts Unchained X, which was rebranded in 2017 to Union X Cross, and then in 2020 rebranded to Kingdom Hearts Union X Dark Road. Because of course it's Kingdom Hearts, it has to be unnecessarily complicated, even with just the names. The rebranding to Union X Dark Road was because of the release of Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, which is actually a standalone game, but it is accessed within Union X, so that part makes sense at least. Right, I'm just going to summarise the 3 parts for you, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm so sorry because this probably just sounds completely ridiculous. So, Kingdom Hearts X is set hundreds of years prior to the other games in the series, just before the legendary Keyblade War. This sets up the creation of several worlds featured throughout the games, including Agrabah from Aladdin, Wonderland from Alice in Wonderland, the Olympus Coliseum from Hercules, and Beast's Castle from Beauty and the Beast. Union X takes place shortly after the events of X, and you have to relive the past to forget the events of the Keyblade War. It features all the previous worlds from Kingdom Hearts X, but also features the Castle of Dreams from Cinderella, the Enchanted Dominion from Sleeping Beauty, and for the first time introduces a new world, Game Central Station, from Wreck-It Ralph. And finally, Kingdom Hearts Dark Road is set many years later. It's 70 years before the events of Birth by Sleep, and features the series antagonist Master Xehanort and his eventual turn to darkness. The gameplay is essentially turn-based and card-based combat. It's pretty cool. Graphically it looks pretty cool as well. I've played a lot of the Kingdom Hearts series, but I actually haven't delved into this mobile game before, so I might have to check this one out. It released on the 15th of June 2016, and its last update was the 28th of September 2022, and is no longer receiving updates, but, unlike a lot of the games on this list, has not been pulled from the App Store. The game reviewed pretty well. On Metacritic it sat about 70 out of 100, with a lot of praise for the fact that it feels like a Kingdom Hearts game. The music and graphics are pretty good as well, but the gameplay is a little shallow and the user interface is quite complicated. But what did we expect, really? Okay, so that takes us to the end of our brief look at some of gaming's biggest franchises turned to mobile spin-offs. Now, there are so many more of these to unpack in a future video, but we'll leave it here today. What do you guys think of these mobile spin-offs? And are there any mobile spin-offs you could recommend to look at for a future video? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe and tap the bell for notifications, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.
When I came to you with those calculations, we thought we might start a chain reaction that would destroy the entire world.
I remember it well. What happened?
I believe we did.